What up, everybody? It's yours truly, Mr. Lang, Team Wash Life. We got a tsunami over here in Illinois, mine. Trying to work on some stuff, and it's raining on me. So yeah, I still haven't put this in, but today's the day because it's rainstorm day. So today's the day I'm gonna put in. I knew I should have pulled the van into the shop. Right now I got the El Trucko into the shop. The way we're set up, we can only have one vehicle in at a time, you know, so I really got to get the van in, but I'm not going out in this rain. I'll wait for it to pass. So yeah, let's get to it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so I had shown you the box in my last video. I didn't give the guy a shout out though, but I want to confirm with you his name is Sean Hodges. He's over in the Team Wash Life Facebook page. That's the only spot you can find him. And I don't get a cut for promoting him or nothing, you know. He's just a guy who's been you can tell he just likes building things, and he's been building the boxes, and I see him posting all the time that he puts them together and sells them. And this more standard level one here, it's $1,000 plus shipping. And he's working on, he's been communicating with me, showing me all sorts of variations that he's doing. Ones with 2 pumps in them, ones with a booster and a 12 volt, so you have backups with 2 proportioners. You know, you could have 2 men spraying. He's getting a little crazy with it, but it's good. It's good. It's cool. Pretty good price, and like I said, they're just, I mean, it's just all stuff that he's purchased. There's nothing proprietary to it. Proprietary? Is that the word? You know, nothing is custom built, right? So this box, it's something you can buy on Amazon or something. I mean, all this stuff, you could buy it, you could build it. You might even save a little bit, but this is a very, like, I chose to purchase it because I don't got time to be drilling perfect little holes and making sure everything measures up right. He's got it very clean, hoses laid in there. The battery can go right here. He's got a little remote switch. This one he threw a light on. Sometimes he'll put like little amperage gauges to make sure your battery's good. It all depends, the little add-ons, it all depends on what you want to do, right? There's an accumulator in there, so a lot of the die-hard 12 volt guys swear by these because they say it saves on the life of the pump. He throws that in there. Very cool little clean little system. It's a great little entryway to get in. All you really have to do is purchase a reel, and you could either mount it on the box, depending on how you're set up, mount it on the box or mount it somewhere else. Purchase a reel, get a couple hundred feet of 5/8 hose. I prefer the 5/8, some guys do 1/2 inch. And a battery, and you're good to go, baby. So anyway, that's what we're gonna get hooked up. So, and not trying to make my videos too scatterbrained, but you guys know who I am. I'm a very scatterbrained type of person. We're gonna be doing a lot of changes to things. Okay, so there's 2 water-fed poles. This whole system, it's cool and all, but there's a lot of moving parts. A lot of things can go wrong. This pump goes wrong. Now we're pretty much done. We can't function like this, so we'd have to take everything off. Then we'd have to take hose off of the reels and change the connections so that they hook up to the water-fed pole, and we hook the water-fed pole straight up to the house, and there's a lot of things that go wrong. So there's quite a few guys doing this, but there's a guy who really pointed it out to me. His name's Troy Glandon. He's in the pro window cleaning group a lot on Facebook. But anyway, he has a very clean, simple setup for window cleaning, and I think it's genius. The only reason we have not switched to that is because we're in a freaking storage unit as a shop, and we have no running water, unless you count this as running water, which is not. We just have 3 55-gallon barrels for water. It's just basically to flush our pump. That's all we really use it for. And I mean, we clean stuff off, like rinse buckets out or whatnot. But anyway, so let's go over the process, the build, because this is good stuff, and this might save you guys a lot of money, a lot of headache, and it's a really good way to do residential window cleaning. So if you search his name in the pro window cleaning groups, you'll probably find a video or two about his setups. But basically, I just want to explain what he does, and you should be able to follow through because it's very simple. So he got his filtration system, right? So a lot of guys ask me which ones I recommend. As you can see, I run Tucker, but that's just because that's the first system I purchased, and then I ended up, I just didn't know much about window cleaning, and I went with these. There's nothing wrong with them at all. Like, they work, they do a great job. I'm just saying, a filter is a filter, in my opinion. So, like, all of these window cleaning carts, everything, all these carts, they essentially do the same thing. They bring the TDS down to 0, and they all use the same innards, the resin, the filters, yada yada. So they all do the same thing. They're just some have a different design, some have bigger filters, so you don't have to change them as much. But on the grand scheme of things, the brand does not really matter. For this setup that I'm about to explain, you don't even bring a water fed pole on, or the cart on site. So let's try to, so basically what you would do, essentially, is you would take your cart, hook it up to your spigot at your house. You'd have like a perfectly cleaned out IBC tote like this or something in your garage, and you'd turn that sucker on and you just let it run. You'd put a Hudson float valve in there so it doesn't overflow or nothing, but you'd let it run. It's a slower flow coming through these filters, so it takes a while, but if you just keep that thing going, you're gonna have a backup buffer tank of 275 gallons of fresh water at all times. From there, you would transfer the water into your tank, 65-gallon tank. Just pure water, that's it. So out of the tank, you would have I think he uses a I want to say it's a 1.6 gallon per minute pump. That's it. But don't mark my words. Let me double check that. I'll probably double check it and write it in the video. So if you're just listening to the video, look at the video real quick. It'll be right here. 1.6 gallon per minute pump. So we got the tank of fresh water, 1.6 gallon per minute pump, and then that pump, the only thing it's doing is pumping to a reel of 3/8 hose. You could even essentially use power wash hose if you have some nice gray hose that you like, or you could just use the clear polybraid hose, 3/8 inch, and you could run 250 foot of that, and then you run 50 foot of the pole tubing, the very skinny, I think it's like a 1/4 inch, the skinnier tubing. So that's it. Tank, pump, hose reel, and the small tubing. And that's it. It's such a clean, simple setup. I love it because that's a huge thing. There's so many different options you can do. You can have all of this stuff going on, but at the end of the day, you're using it, you're abusing it, and things break. And the simpler you can make something, that's the goal, is to make it as simple yet efficient as possible. So I think Troy and the guys who are doing that nailed that one on the head. And that's kind of why I was mentioning the filtration. So essentially, you really don't need a cart on wheels, right? Like, you could just get some basic home filtration kit or system and have it just stationary at your house. All you need is a RO membrane, or what is it? I don't even remember the name of this stuff. Yeah, RO membrane, DI filter. You really don't even need a carbon sediment, but I guess you could if you want to get fancy. But I mean, just keep that filtration. Check your TDS here and there. But as long as you're under 10 or 20 TDS, your windows are going to come out clear. That little pump, the only thing it's pumping is pure water, so that little pump's going to last forever. He uses something called SureFlow. It's like an orange looking pump, white and orange. I think they're RV pumps or something. Swears by them. I'm going to try some out. But yeah, so that's it. It's pure water tank, your hose, and your water fed pole, and a little 12 volt pump that pumps 1.6 gallons per minute. And even by the time it gets out of your hose, it's probably not even 1.6, you know, because of the flow restriction and whatnot. You're probably lucky to get a gallon per minute of water. So 65 gallon tank is gonna totally take care of you for residential window cleaning. You probably could clean multiple. You could probably clean a residential house all day and still not go through your tank. You know, because you just have that univalve on there, so you can pull it when you're not literally cleaning a window. So you're only going to use the water. You know, you might think in your head, man, it might take me 4 or 5 hours to clean the exterior of this house because it's a big house. But if you use the univalve like you're supposed to, and just use it to clean a window and then pull the valve, so you're never wasting water, you're really going to conserve water. What I'm getting at is, if you're using a 1 gallon a minute pump, it doesn't mean you only have 60 minutes to use it, because you can use the univalve to shut it off in between. Anyway, let's storm, man. So I've been kind of bored tinkering around with extra parts I have sitting around in my shop. I don't know, might try this out, see how that does. I see guys using these. I never really understand how or why. This one I like took apart, but I realized it's not gonna work because now it has no way of shutting off. But I don't know. I don't really get how, I guess it would work. It's like when you're using these just the way they're supposed to be used, the spray pattern's funny, you know? It's like, sometimes it's a fan or whatever. Or maybe I haven't used these in a while, but we'll see. So this one, it's not gonna work because I took this off trying to use the threads, but I didn't understand that that was what sealed it. You know what I mean? So it won't work, but this one I was thinking about making one for our system over here. These ones are fresh water. This is our chem. But if we had a little spray nozzle, we could use it to like clean things off, like clean out buckets. And I mean, we use it the way it is now, but it's just like using a hose. It'd be nice to have a spray. And then this one I was gonna have set up for like J-rod use. You know what I mean? A little pistol grip on the roof. I just have to get some fittings so I can hook up a 3/8. Where is it? I just had it. A 3/8 quick connect. I just gotta get a fitting, a reducer for that. That's the only part I was missing. So, yeah. Pump. We had to take our pump off over there. This little setup's been giving me a lot of issues, y'all. There's something bigger to this, because we shouldn't be going through pumps so crazy. But, I mean, I checked the air. There's no air leaks. I really was thinking it was the battery, but it sounds like everybody's doing that. They're using this battery to power their 12 volt, and they're not having issues. Maybe there's something defective with the mixer or the three-way ball valve. That little filter that we put on inline, we just put that in, so it's not that. I already checked it. It's not like whatever. Well, I'm getting hungry. I might go grab some Taco Bell. Oh. This 18-inch brush, though, Tucker is a fool with the brushes, right? So at the convention, here, let's talk about this. So at the convention, I didn't talk to too many people. I talked to a lot of like the Wash Life guys, but as far as vendors, I only talked to a handful of them. But I talked to Gardner. I want to say his name was Steve. I could be wrong though. I talked to Gardner and they blew my mind with what they had to offer. I talked to Ionic. Those guys are crazy. They have hot water, pure water window cleaning. Because they use it for like airport window cleaning where they get jet engine grease and fuel off of the windows. So they use hot water, pure window cleaning. It's pretty crazy. But anyway, what I found was, I did look at a lot of water fed poles though. What I found was Gardner had the best water fed poles, hands down, no questions about it. That is not an opinion, it's a straight up fact. Period. Okay? They had some cool, they had this, I almost purchased it. It was like 17 or 1800 bucks. I was this close and I was like, no. Because to be honest with you guys, we got to start drumming up some revenue. I got to stop goofing around on YouTube. I got to stop wasting time, make my time more valuable, and put all this equipment to use. This truck ends up sitting half the time because I don't even have enough employees or work lately to keep busy. So anyway, not making excuses. I'm calling myself out because it's my fault. Anyway, Gardner had a really cool water fed pole. They had like this 55 or 55 foot pole, and then it could go up to like some crazy astronomical height, like I want to say 80 feet or something, 90 feet. I could be making that up though. But it was the pole, and then it had these extensions. You could get like 10 of them. And these extensions were designed in a way, it's the only way anyone's designing them like this. They were designed in a way to add on, and they showed how, I mean, it still was rigid enough. It wasn't a suit like crazy bend, and super lightweight, high modulus carbon fiber. But the coolest part is these extensions, and this isn't like this with our water fed poles. These extensions also can be used as a backup pole. Like you can connect the extensions and use it as a water fed pole, and they have this adapter, and just really cool. So it's like you're getting two water fed poles. If you just get this really big one, it's like you're getting two water fed poles out of one. So if you want like the best of the best water fed pole, really nice, and I think it's fair price, same price as some of these other poles. I paid a shitload of money for this 35 foot Tucker, but whatever, that's the old me. Gardner's the way to go. Now brushes, sorry for talking shit Tucker, but brushes, Tucker takes the win. I mean, I've felt all of them. I didn't use every single one, right? But I've used a few, and I'm really happy with Tucker brushes. I just feel like they're, like I said, they're simple, efficient, clean, sturdy. I mean, the brushes are nice, and I really like this 18-inch hybrid. It's pretty cool. I used to not be a fan of the boar's hair, but I actually like it in this case, the hybrid situation. And this is one of the coolest things they got, which you can use on any pole. They have a really nice swivel system, and this came in handy a lot. It's actually changed our entire technique of cleaning windows. We actually clean them more like a traditional way, even though we're water fed poling, you know. We kind of do like, try to get that top edge, you know, almost do a cut in motion and try to just pull that dirt down and rinse, and there's technique to everything. But this was really nice, especially on the high school job. We were getting the windows done twice as fast because it's damn near twice the size. Although someone told me they measured this thing and it was like 16 inches, so I think they're saying 18 inches when it's pushed down and the bristles are pushed out. That might be 18 inches, I don't know. But Tucker's poles are very, I mean, it's a nice pole, it's lasted all this time. The clamps are going bad. I gotta replace some of the clamps, and but it's very heavy, and when it's fully extended, it's got some serious bend to it. That other pole I got, I think, is a aluminum / carbon fiber. It's like a hybrid. That's a very bendy pole too. Yep, I'm hungry. This rain is not stopping anytime soon. I'm gonna get Taco Bell. All right, well, I had Taco Bell with my mom. I'm stuffed. I'm tired. Literally will not stop raining. I could, yes, bring the van, take this out, bring the van in here, but I don't feel like playing musical cars. And it's not only that, I'd have to move one of the ladders off because one of the ladders is stacked too tall, and we barely clear it, the garage, because the van is so tall. So it's gonna do it tomorrow. I got it all in there. Everything's good. All I have to do is swap out 2 of my hose barbs. So I got 2 hose barbs that are 5/8, and I'm gonna swap them out with the 1/2 inch because this one's equipped with 1/2 inch hose, and then we're good to go. hook it up to the battery. So it's what it is. And then eventually I'll get another roof pump in there where the old system was. So we have 2 roof pump systems in there. Because I don't know what it is with this van. I think it's something. I just can't figure it out. But it's chewing up roof pumps. So I want to have 2 roof pumps in there, 2 systems, so we have at least a backup. Because man, it's embarrassing when you, especially this last week, we had 2 roof cleaning jobs that they both had to be rescheduled last week because of something coming up. So they already were kind of irritated they had to reschedule. It was super inconvenient for them. They had other stuff planned the day that we had to reschedule it to. So they worked with me on that, and then we get there and we had to reschedule again. I almost lost one of the jobs, but you know, talked her into it, and yeah. So we'll be good, but I'm gonna head home and just do some computer stuff, I guess. Probably upload this video. I just feel like uploading a video. So Team Wash Life, yeah, man.